And I'm back. Alright, let's have a look and see what species we've got around here, because I am curious. Alright, Helicoprion we've identified previously. Yeah, you can see what I mean by that funny jaw. Oh, thank you. A gar. Okay, I call it a paddlefish. They are similar. Paddlefish are in China. Gar are in, I want to say, American Southwest, US Southwest. Strangely, they can interbreed, which is weird. Arandapsus. That is a very, very primitive fish. That's an Amalocaris. Those, I think, could get quite big. You know, life-threateningly big. Oh, it's interesting. You see the sparkle in the water? I think that's supposed to be fish scales. I know they use it quite a lot, and not necessarily when it's appropriate, but if you ever see video of some predators striking fish, you do get that sparkle in the water from the scales. Tiktaalik! I was right! Of course it's not showing me. Yes, there we go. Oh, that is a Tiktaalik, but yes. Yes. Very early transitional species between fish and amphibians. Well, early amphibians. Tetrapods, really. The interesting thing about this was its form, its age, and location were predicted in advance, and a scientist team went out and found it. I think Nova Scotia. Basically, evolutionary biologists predicted that, you know, what it would look like, where it would exist, and when it could be found, and when it would have existed, and they went out and they found it. Yeah, I've seen the gar. I don't know anything about those. Ammonite, yes. Some of those grew truly massive. 6 foot across type of thing. But I think if you look closely, that, yeah, you can see, I think, that is the bony head protection that they had. But you wouldn't have found them all mixed up like this. But it's still nice to see depictions of them. Oh, we are getting into a different era almost. Ah, that is that's found in the Amazon today, and I can't remember what it's called. Arapaima. Yeah, that's a modern fish. Freshwater, found in the Amazon. And you definitely wouldn't find them swimming alongside coelacanths. And that is that a leatherback? No. Archelon. Now that is I'm not sure about dinosaur era, but that's yeah, extinct. So here's a thought. Christmas is coming up in a few weeks. I am thinking of doing a live stream on Christmas Day. Anybody got any preference about what I should live stream? I might have a game or two. A cozy game or two. Extra by then. Where did the flippers go? If anybody has anything in particular they might like me to consider streaming on Christmas, leave it in the comments. Well, I'm guessing there's no way of extending the bridge. So I guess we're due for a dive. Oh, now that's a plesiosaur. I think. Where is it? Where is it? Ah, is that an ichthyosaur there? Ichthyosaurus, yes. And despite how it looks, that is a reptile. And they look sort of like dolphins, except the tails in the wrong configuration. They were air breathing, and they were reptiles. They weren't dinosaurs, by the way. There is only one known species of aquatic dinosaur, and that is, oh, what's it called? Spinosaurus is the only known aquatic dinosaur. It's an elasmosaur. Okay. And that too is a reptile, air-breathing. Interesting thing about ichthyosaurs, they gave live birth. And we know this because we have actually found a fossilized specimen of a female ichthyosaur that died while giving birth, and it was fossilized, and we found it. Whoa, what's that? Did I see something dive into the water? That didn't do anything for me. Ah, that's what it was. One of those things, diving. Oh, that's interesting. I think they've given something down here, sonar. That would be speculation, I think. I don't know if we've got any way of knowing whether that plesiosaur had sonar. They're obviously sight predators. Those huge eyes give that away. That looks like a gigantic piranha. The pathless. Huh. No, I'm not guaranteeing any suggestions will make their way to a Christmas live stream, but it gives me ideas. I'll have to make a note. Is it available on Steam? I don't have Windows, you see. This is Linux system I'm playing on, and so therefore my games come from Steam. Essentially, if it will run on a Steam Deck, that's good to know. If the game runs on Steam Deck, I've got a very good chance of playing it on this computer. I do hope we have a Dunkleosteus. That would be cool. Mind you, that's cool. I mean, that's awesome. There's, if you've heard of the Loch Ness Monster, that's one of the, creatures that it was supposed to be. Unfortunately, it really does seem as if there isn't anything like a Loch Ness Monster. They've done environmental DNA studies of Loch Ness, and there's nothing in Loch Ness that comes as a surprise. I think they did find an unexpected species of eel, but nothing like that. eDNA is environmental DNA. Basically, you can take a sample of an environment. I think water might be most suitable, and then you can analyze all the DNA found in the water sample and give you a pretty clear idea of what lives in it. As to what the Loch Ness Monster is, well, there's never been any halfway, even vaguely decent photos of it, and the descriptions tend to vary. So what we've got is a couple of explanations for the stories of the Loch Ness Monster. One is, if it's at night, harbour seals do actually make it every so often into the loch, and they're fairly big, and if you're not expecting it, that would be quite surprising. And you may think, well, how can people not recognize a seal? Well, you might be surprised. In the United States, there is... what's it called? I can't remember the lake. I think it's sort of a Loch Ness Monster type thing called Caddy. Is it called Caddy? I can't remember the lake right now. But on one occasion, a lady comes back from a boat trip, saying that the river monster had surfaced next to her, sort of lake monster, and she shot it. Later on, a sturgeon was discovered with bullet holes in it. And you might think, how can anybody not recognize a sturgeon? Well, if you're not familiar with that kind of thing, and something like a sturgeon surfaces next to you, it does look prehistoric. It looks like a monster. So the unexpected, when you're not expecting it, could easily be mistaken for something that it isn't. The other thing is that long, narrow, deep lakes, and Loch Ness is something like 1,200 feet deep, exhibit a phenomenon called a standing wave. And what happens is you get a separation between warm water and cold water. And that you can get waves along that separation. So you're deep underwater, you got a cold layer. Is it a cold layer over a warm layer, or a warm layer over a cold layer? I think it's a warm layer of water over a cold layer. And you can get waves along that. And the waves can be so big they actually make it to the surface. And it shows up as a sort of ripple on the surface. And if you didn't know what you were looking at, you might think it was a serpent, because it forms this serpentine ripple on the surface. And it is interesting that this is primarily exhibited by, as I said, long, deep, narrow lakes, lochs, fjords. And a lot of them have legends of lake monsters. I'm assuming I can't jump up here. No. Okay. Back in the water we go, I guess. But unfortunately, there is no Loch Ness Monster. As much as I would like there to be one. That would be cool. realise those little, I know they're not plesiosaurs, plesiosaur-like things, look a bit like penguins. Oh, I've lost camera control, so I would assume then I'm going up. Well, judging by previous logic, follow the cables, well, chains. Yep, here we go. What do we reckon? Do we think we'll make it to the end of the game in this session? Thank goodness for flip up to mute. Otherwise I'd be burping and coughing on the live stream, which would not be a good